Hello, my name is Sasha Struthers. I am an attorney here in Los Angeles, and today I'm doing a video on tenants offering to be bought out. So it is often a misconception that tenants cannot offer their landlords a buyout. It's a two-way street. A buyout is a voluntary agreement between a tenant and a landlord in which the tenant agrees to move out in exchange for the landlord paying some form of compensation. So to begin, I get asked often, why tenants would even want to do a buyout. It's often from the perspective from the landlord. They ask me, well, why would a tenant offer me a buyout? There's a few things. One, the unit's run down but otherwise habitable. Two, a tenant might want a change of scenery. Three, they don't like other tenants moving into the building. Four, they want a few bucks. That's a common one. And five, they don't like their landlord, and there's friction. Those are like the most common ones. The reason why I like buyouts, for one, they're one of the few options that landlords have these days to get units back. And the reason why a landlord wants the unit back, to put yourself in their shoes, is a lot of the multifamily that currently exists that's under rent control is very, very old. Most of it was built in the 50s after the war. So the units, for the most part, have original everything in them or close to it. So in order for a landlord to actually really rehab a unit, it's challenging, if not impossible, to do it while the tenant is living in the unit. And so one of the rewards of rehabbing a unit and getting it back is that you can then increase the rents on it once it's rehabbed. So a landlord actually does go out of pocket quite a bit in doing a rehab and doing a tenant buyout, and it takes quite a while to recoup. But the idea is, one, you're improving the building. Two, you're going to be able to increase your rents. So it promotes what I like to think is the historical preservation of these buildings. Otherwise, the buildings would just be demolished and things would be developed, which happens all over anyways. So one of the things that I caution tenants and when they're going to go do a buyout negotiation themselves is they often leave money on the table, or they reveal something about themselves that their landlord doesn't need to know. Oftentimes it'll come up that they have unauthorized occupants or pets or this or that or the other. And so tenants sometimes, in trying to convince their landlord to give them a higher buyout, reveal more information than is necessary. Also experience sometimes landlords will partake in tactics of baseless threats of eviction. So then it intimidates tenants, and so they often kind of accept lower amounts, or misled about what will happen if they don't take a buyout. But for the most part, that's usually not how it goes down, although sometimes it is in fact an option. A landlord does have an option to, at some point in time, evict a tenant, depending on the basis for why they're doing the buyout or why they are ending the tenancy. So that's a little outside the scope of this, but it could be a valid threat, but for a lot of the times it's baseless. So tenants are able to offer buyouts. I do it all the time on behalf of tenants. I do it on behalf of landlords. I do buyout negotiations on both sides. And the benefits of hiring someone to help you negotiate is they're pretty familiar with the game. They do it for a living. I do it all the time. And I'm well aware of the amenities and the things going on in specific areas in the city that are being developed, and the realistic the realistic buyout amounts, depending on where the unit is located. Also, it's someone that can review the agreement and make sure that all of the documentation is provided for and that no one's partaking in gamesmanship. So it's someone that has a vested interest in getting you a really good outcome. So if you have any questions about tenant buyouts, you'd like to partake in one, whether you're a tenant or landlord, by all means, you can reach out to me. My information is in the description box. And good luck. Thanks.